Welcome to the Sing Show Makerspace, and today on the workbench we have a garden journal. This is a garden journal or a nature observer's journal. We could use it for nature journaling and other things. A couple of weeks ago, if you recall, we made a journal out of a paper bag, and inside you can keep things that you find out in nature, leaves or pressed flowers or small items to carry with you. You can also collect your drawings and observations on the pages inside. And that was all done with a standard lunch bag. For this episode, we decided to go big. And I have used a full-size grocery bag for this project. We still have the stick here, you can see, in the rubber bands. And it does have this pocket. I actually added a back pocket by cutting off the bottom of the bag. I'll show you how to do that. And inside we have some paper, and as you can see, almost full-size paper. Almost a full-size 8.5 by 11 paper. But what's cool about this bag, and my favorite feature, are the handles. Right? So I have actually moved one handle from where it belongs on the bag when you first get it, and I've moved it to the bottom of the bag actually. So I'm going to show you how to do that as well. Let's go ahead and get started. So for this project, you're going to need, of course, a paper grocery bag. If your paper bag doesn't have handles, don't worry, I'm going to show you how to make your own. And you don't even need handles if you don't want. You could do a handleless journal. I also have 8 sheets of copy paper. This is just blank copy paper. If you have a little bit nicer paper, like drawing paper, that might be nice, but use what you have, and in this case I have copy paper today. You're also going to need a couple of rubber bands like these here, and a stick, and I'm going to actually just take the stick right off of this already made journal. In addition to those supplies, you're going to need a hole punch. If you don't have a hole punch, you could use another tool or get a grown-up to help you punch some holes, and that comes a little later. I like this hole punch. It's a nice heavy-duty hole punch. It'll punch through cardboard, and I recommend, if you are a maker, put that on your list. Also some scissors, and we'll need a pencil, and we're also going to need some glue, all right? And I'm just using a glue stick here because it'll do just fine. All right, let's clear some of these things out of the way and get started making. If you want to pause the video here and go gather your supplies, go ahead and do that. And once you have all your supplies ready, you can start the video again. This video, again, like our other videos we're creating, is designed so that you can follow along and you don't have to pause the video. But if you do need to, you can, and that will give you some more time, or if you need to take a break, gives you the opportunity to do that. I'm going to set the paper aside because first we're going to work with the bag. All right, so all paper bags have a bottom here, and it's usually folded up like this. What we're going to do to start is fold it down. So give it a good crease, all right? Because we're going to cut the bottom off of the paper bag. I'm going to show you how I did mine. You could come up with your own method, but here's what I do. I'm just going to line up the bottom here, like so, and I'm just going to cut right along both bottom pieces. Now, if your scissors are, if it's too tough to cut through 2 pieces, you could do one at a time. You could cut through one piece and then cut through the other side. But you could get a grown-up to help you with this too. There we go. Look at that. Put those in the recycle bin or your compost pile. And so now what I have is I have a paper bag. The bottom is almost cut off, but you can see there's actually 2 parts that are still attached to the sides. So I'm going to cut the width sides of the bag off here, and I'll do that just by sliding my scissors right inside here and then giving it a little snip. Be careful when you're cutting. And then I'll open this up and do the same on this part. Sorry about the shadows here. It's not the best lighting today, but we're making do. All right, so now we have not a paper bag, we have a paper tube. Now check this out, right down inside there, big paper tube. But we're just about done preparing this for the outside of our journal. What we need to do before we fold this up though, we're gonna take one of the handles off, and it doesn't matter which one, but you're just gonna gently peel that handle up. It's attached with some glue. Sometimes these things fall off on their own, but surprisingly getting them off when you want them off is actually a little more difficult. Just take your time. Ooh, there we go. How'd you do? Yeah, mine got a little ripped, but doesn't matter. We could always put a little tape there if we need to, but I think we did okay. All right, now with the handle on the bottom, the one that's still attached, keep that one on the bottom. We're gonna fold this whole thing in half. All right, so just take the whole thing and fold it in half. It's not where the fold is on the bag. Just line up the edges and fold it in half like this. There you go. Give it a good crease. That's gonna be your spine for your journal. All right, there you have it. So one side has a handle, the other side doesn't. So we're gonna reattach this handle, and all I'm gonna do is just line it up. So right there where we tore it off, we're gonna put some glue. I'll line it up where the other handle is. Okay, so we're gonna get our glue stick. You can use white glue if you have that. You could also even tape this on, but I prefer to use the glue stick. And if you're using a glue stick, I'll give you a hint, use a lot of glue. That's the trick. Okay, and make sure you do both handles with a liberal amount of glue. There we have it. I'll wind that down. We're done with the glue stick. You don't need that anymore. All right, we're gonna line those handles up and then press and hold. We're gonna count to 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 20. Okay, I skipped a few. 10 seconds is enough, actually. All right, that's still drying, so try not to mess with it too much, but for right now, we can just leave that as it is. Now, I promised I would show you, if you don't have handles, I can show you how to make your own handles. What I noticed with these grocery bag handles, if you take one apart and deconstruct this, it's just a strip of cardboard that's been folded over. See that? It's just been folded a few times and then glued, right? So if we take one of these handles apart, have you ever taken a handle apart? Look at this. It's just a piece of paper bag cut into a strip, and then they just folded it over to make the handle. So we can make our own handles. All we have to do is cut a piece of paper bag this size, and then you're just gonna fold it in half, right? Then open it back up, fold each part toward the middle like this, and then fold the whole thing in half one more time. Right? And now you have this strip. And then just kind of fold these down like this and make a little tabletop. All right, and of course you want to glue that together, and then you can glue that onto your journal. Perfect. All right, well, we've already got handles on our bag, so we'll come back to that. Now it's time for the pages. I'm going to put the pages inside my bag, and you'll notice for most bags the pages are going to stick out a little bit. Right? See how they're kind of sticking out? Now you could leave it like that. It's not a big deal. In fact, you know, if you're wanting to just get out and start journaling, leave them in. Just leave it like that. But I'm a little bit more of a perfectionist, and I want my journal to, I want my pages to fit a little bit better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold back this part, and you see how I have a line here now? So this is the bottom of the bag, and it folds back rather easily. I'll just tuck the pages in, make sure they're all lined up, and here's where we need a pencil. Draw a line down. There you go. Oh, it's a little bumpy, it doesn't matter. We just need to know approximately where it is. All right, done with the pencil. All right, now you need your scissors, and we're going to go ahead and cut along this line. If your scissors are a little bit wimpy, you might want to split your paper into 2 sections. I have 8 pages here, so I'll split mine into 2. It also makes it a little bit easier to cut. And don't worry if you don't cut perfectly on the line. It'll be just fine. Oh, excuse me. Apparently, I'm allergic to cutting paper or scissors. Or maybe I'm allergic to paper bags or journals. Since I cut it in two parts, I'm going to have to trace this line here. Line up your paper and trace your line again like that. And we'll cut the other group of paper. Now you don't have to limit yourself to 4 or 8 pages. You could do 20 pages in your journal if you want. However, poking holes or punching holes through that many pages is going to be difficult, even with our super deluxe paper hole punch. All right, we're gonna line up these pages once again, and I'm gonna use the cut edge, which is kind of the sloppy edge, and I'm gonna put that inside my journal first. All right, so we're gonna tuck this right inside here. There we go. And just kind of line it up so it's about centered, so there's a little extra here and maybe a little extra here. And we'll fold that over, and look at that. Fits. Okay, not quite perfectly, but close enough. It's better than it was. All right, now we're going to punch some holes. And I'm using my Super Deluxe hole punch. All right, and I'll empty out some of the bits that I punched earlier. All right. Now, if you don't have a hole punch like this, you might have to punch your paper bag first and then put your paper in and then punch those holes. But if you have this one, it should go through all of it, and it's got a little depth level here on it. I'm setting it to about maybe 1.25 inches back, or 1 1/8. I don't know exactly. I didn't measure it. And I'm going to do 3 holes. You could just do 2 holes if you want. But 3 holes, I think, for this size journal is a little more secure. So I'm going to start by punching my center hole. I'm not going to measure, I'm just going to go for it. It looks about center. There we go. See that? And then I'm going to come over and I'm going to punch another hole just a little bit, maybe, what is that, 2 inches away from the side. There we go. And here's another about 2 inches. Let's just kind of get it close. If you want it more perfect, go ahead, pull out a ruler and measure it. That's close enough. All right, it's time for some rubber bands. I've got 2 just standard size rubber bands. These came from our local grocery store. They put them around berry cartons so they don't spill out all over your car when you're driving home or something. So I've got those there, and we need a stick. Luckily, we have this one. It is a little long, though, you'll notice. So before you put it all together, let's measure this. I kind of like this decorative end. Is that decorative? In nature, maybe it's decorative. And so I'm going to keep that on. I'm going to break my stick right here. So I'll just do this. Just get a grown-up to help if you need help breaking the stick. I mean, you're grown-up. It's got to be able to break a stick, right? Okay, I mean, don't give them a hard time if they can't break the stick. Just say thanks. All right, we're going to start by putting a rubber band right here in the center, going up through the bottom. So just make a little loop with your rubber band, stick it in like that. And now we want to put the stick there, but before I do, I'm going to put the second rubber band in too. This is going to make it a lot easier. All right, so I'm going to stick both rubber bands through that center hole. I don't know if you can see this, but they're both going up through the middle hole. All right, there you go. And just get both loops out like this. So I've got both loops there. All right, see? Open them up, put the stick through, and line up the stick so it's in the middle. All right, and now go back to the bottom and pull those rubber bands through to tighten them up. All right, so we've got that locked in place. Now take one rubber band, doesn't matter which one, and we're going to go through underneath on the one hole over here on the right side. This is where you might need some help. Maybe somebody to hold the rubber band while you are getting the stick ready. Nobody's here to help me. All right, drop that on, put that around the end, and do the same on the other side. Just go ahead, go over here. I'll try to get that in there. All right, got it. Ew, it's like trying to pull a worm out of a hole. There you go. I mean, if I was a bird, I don't just go around yanking worms out of holes and stuff. But if I was a bird, that might be a challenge I've had. Look at this, we have a journal. This is so exciting. I'm so excited. You know, it's ready to go. And look at this, it folds right back. We've got pages here. What's great about this journal is that if I fill these pages up, I can take them out, replace them with new pages, and keep on journaling. Or I could keep adding pages to my journal. That's another way to do it. Or just make another one, right? Keep making another one. And of course you can decorate it, add some color to the outside with crayons, colored pencils, or markers. But the awesome part about this journal are the cool pockets here. You can use this to put things that you find, you know, that you collect on your walks or collect on your journey, whether it's in your backyard or out in a forest somewhere. But the best part, the thing I like the most about it, is you can put your tools inside there. So my eraser, I could put my pencil, I could put my colored pencils or other things in there. And look, my ruler, and now I have my kit ready to go. I'm ready to go out and observe nature and record all the things I find. Isn't that pretty neat? Well, I'm super excited for you. I hope you have a lot of fun getting out there journaling, and thanks again for joining us today. And we'll see you next time in the Sing Show Makerspace.